Hi, in this video lecture, we're going to learn a HackerRank problem titled print function, which is from the Python section. The problem says that given the value of n, you need to print numbers from 1 to n without any spaces, and the number should be in the same line. Like for example, if the n value is 5, I need to print the string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And also says that we need to do it without using any string methods. I'll be solving this particular problem using multiple methods. To begin with, using a for loop, and after that, without using a for loop. I'll be using another platform called as Godbolt, where I'll be doing the program first, then I'll coming back to this particular platform and then submit the code here. Now here, the first line, I'm trying to read the input from the user. After that, I need to start printing the numbers starting from 1 all the way up to n. So for printing the numbers, I can use for loop for I in range of, since the first time we wanted 1, I'd like to start with 1 here. If I basically say n here, and then if I try to print I, you can observe it only prints up to 4. And what is expected is if the input is 5, I need to print up 5, including 5. So for that purpose, I need to write +1 here. Okay. The next point is here it is basically printing one value in each line. But what we wanted is we wanted values in the same line, and that too without a space. So for that, there is a parameter in the print function called as end. By default, it is a new line. I need to just leave it as blank here. Okay, empty string. So you can just observe it is not printing every output in a new line. Instead, it is printing the number, not jumping to the new line, then going to the next iteration and printing it. This is a very simple way of solving this particular problem. So let me just try to take this and then submit the particular code out here. I paste it here and then I'll try to run this particular code. Pass the sample test case and submit it. It's passed all the test cases. Now let's try to solve the same problem without using a for loop. Now by default, this range function will basically give me a series from the given range from 1 to n, right? Now, after that, you want to print, you can use a print here, but if you just try to print like this, what it does is basically tries to print that it's a range object from 1 to n. But if you want to print numbers from 1 to n, there are multiple ways. You can basically use a list conversion in this way, and then it's going to print as a list. That's one way what you can do it. The other thing what you can do it is, okay, whenever you have a list or you have a range object, you want to print all the numbers. So you can just put a star here. You can just put a star. You can just observe it is basically printing all the numbers from 1 to n. Now, if you want, you can also change the input out here, let's say 10, and you can just observe it's printing it. But the problem out here is it is printing a space between every element. Now, if you don't want to print a space in every element, that is after every element, okay, of the arguments of the print, then there is a parameter in the print function called a separator. By default, it is a space, and then I would like to just say that it is also blank, right? So now we are getting the expected output. Let me just try to take this particular code and then try to print it out here. I'd like to remove this for loop and then put it out here. The only line what I basically have as of now. I'd like to run this. And I'll be submitting it. I hope the concept is clear. And the key learning out here is the two parameters for the print function. One is the end, the other one is the separator. Thank you.